Saxon Math Course 2. We are on lesson 63 already, and we're going to be talking about something that is a symbol of inclusion. Okay, what are symbols of inclusion? Well, there are three that we're going to talk about. Number one, you'll see this symbol. It's a bracket, and you've seen these before on your keyboard on your computer. You've seen these, and the same is true with these braces. Okay, you'll see braces as well. And then one that's probably a little bit new is an absolute value. We have talked about this in the past, but just to refresh your mind, if there are straight lines and it includes a -3, what it's asking is the absolute value. And remember, you have to go back to a number line. Okay, -1, 2, and 3 is actually how many units from 0. Well, there's 1, there's 1, there's 1. So the absolute value of -3 is 3. What's the absolute value of 2? Well, if this is 2, same thing. We go to 0, there's 1, there's 2. That means it's simply 2. So, absolute value, just to remember some things about that. Okay? So, those are the things we're going to be dealing with today in our lesson. All right, first example problem, pretty simple, but let's do it anyway, okay? So the example gives us 50 minus, and then there's a bracket here, which is going to tell us something, 20 plus, and now we're going to get even further into the problem with a parentheses of 10 minus 5, close of parentheses, close of bracket. Now, if you remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. P stands for parentheses, E stands for exponents, M stands for multiplication, D stands for division, A stands for addition, and S stands for subtraction. So which one of these comes first? We have to go with parentheses. Where do we find parentheses? Right here. So I'm going to write the whole thing out again, and the reason I do this is to make sure that I do them in order. What's 5 minus, or 10 minus 5? It would be 5. And I'm going to keep that parenthesis there. Now, because there's only a number in the parentheses, I don't have to solve this again. It's already solved right here. Now I look for exponents. Nope, no exponents, so number 2 is done. What about number 3, step number 3, multiplication? Well, none of these are being multiplied, so that's done. And of course, we don't see anything in division, so number 4 is done. Now we go to addition. So step 5, addition, we see it right here. So 50 minus whatever is inside these brackets. 20 plus 5 is 25. And the other thing that we see is subtraction. So number 6 is subtraction. 50 minus 25, our total answer is 25. Pretty simple to see this events. Now, if I did it like this, I want to show you how off you can get if you do it the wrong way. Okay, I'm going to go from left to right. All right, so what if I did this? What if I did 50 minus 20, which is 30, and then I did 30 times 10, which would be 300, minus 5, I would get the answer of 295. That's a far cry from the correct answer of 25. See, I didn't go in order here. I chose my own order from left to right, did not follow PEMDAS, and I got it wrong. Let's do the next one. Example 2 gives an absolute value, which is a little different. So we have 12 minus a parentheses of 8 minus, and then an absolute value of 4 minus 6 plus 2. Okay, in PEMDAS, we don't see anything about absolute value. Nothing about that symbol right there and any numbers that are in there. So here's what I'm going to say. We're going to do parentheses first, and in the parentheses we're going to solve this before we solve what's in the parentheses, okay? So let's do that. 12 minus, okay, 8 minus, and then what's this value right here? 4 minus 6 is actually a negative 2. However, we would call the absolute value of negative 2, 2. But remember, we've got to keep this symbol right here. So even though we get a negative 2 inside that absolute value, it's a positive 2 plus 2. Okay, so now we can do the rest of the parentheses. Now we can just go in order. With this negative 2 and this positive 2 basically cancel each other out, or we could do 8 minus 2, which is 6, plus 2, which is 8. We still get the same problem. Okay, so now we're left with 12 minus 8. What does that give us? We should equal 4. Okay, following the right rules, we have no problems with that. Let's do one more. We're going to simplify, and this time we do have a division problem. So it's 4 plus 5 times 6 minus 7 all over 10 minus, and in parentheses we have 9 minus 8. Alright, I'm going to attack the top first. And remember, PEMDAS says we do multiplication first. So 4 plus, well, what's 5 times 6? That equals 30 minus 7. Okay, so what is 4 plus 30? 34 minus 7. We would say that as 27. So we have 27 on top, okay? What's the bottom? Do what's in the parentheses first. So 10 minus 9 minus 8 is 1. So we have 10 minus 1, which is 9. So what is 27 over 9? That division problem equals 3. There's our answer. All right, that's your lesson, lesson 63. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask, and I'll help you with whatever you need.